Maphra made an appearance at Welcome to Rockville, one of the biggest rock festivals in America, a live appearance. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is her first live appearance that she's made, putting all of the AI rumors to rest. And the comments are very split down the middle, as always, because I wouldn't expect anything less from the internet. I actually saw the comments before I watched the performance. Not always a good practice. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't let other people's perception of something that's already secondhand to begin with affect your own experience before it even starts. But let's watch. I want to watch this video. There isn't a lot of clear footage of it, which, you know, I guess I understand, because this was just probably a spur of the moment performance with Ice Nine Kills. But I want to watch this and see what's going on here, okay? Let's play it. Okay, this is what I noticed. The intro sounded decent, it sounded normal, and then right at that part before he came in, there was a little drop off where maybe she couldn't hear the pitch or the key of the song. Maybe there was a sound issue, and, you know, also the crowd was singing too, so a lot of people who were there probably didn't even notice it. And then he came in. I feel like he came in because that's partly where he's supposed to come in, but he also came in to save the melody, to kind of like, hey, this is where we're at, kind of thing. That's the feeling I got from it. All right. Good harmonies. Yeah, you know, it sounds like a normal performance, so I'd imagine that everyone on the internet agrees. It's just, it's cool. No, they don't. Big surprise, right? Well, actually, these comments are really positive. There's a lot of people who are happy for her, as they should be, because it is, in my opinion, this is a success story in the making that tells you, everyone who's watching right now, that your life can look very different within a few months. And I did a video about the music industry is dead, or the old music industry is dead. And I talked about not being embarrassed to promote your original music. And I was talking about getting creative in ways that you can put yourself out there to get people to care about your music, or to trick the algorithm into sharing your music with people, which is not an easy task. And there are marketing companies that already exist for the reason of pushing music out, even where we are right now, where you can push your own music out organically. It's still very difficult. And somehow she's managed to do it. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, well, it's because of a cover song. Yes. But sometimes that's what it takes. It's what launched I Prevail's career back in 2015. That's what this kind of reminds me of when they did Taylor Swift. They did Blank Spaces, and that cover alone launched their career and made it possible for them to, you know, get signed and make original music, and the rest is history. So what I think about this in particular is, as far as the performance goes, it's fine. It's not great. It's not spectacular, like probably what people were expecting, is being that she has had so much hype in the past few months. It's like, oh, she's on stage and she's going to either knock everyone, excuse me, it's either she's going to knock everyone's socks off or she's going to be a complete fraud. I told you she couldn't do this live. I told you she's using AI. So that's the thing. She already has this enormous amount of pressure on her that people can't even have a normal perception of her showing up on stage. A lot of people who were there probably just said, all right, she's singing, she's harmonizing. What is she supposed to do? You know, she sounds pretty normal to me. I don't hear anything truly problematic. She's not doing her scream sing that she does, but that's maybe not that's not what the song is calling for at the time. So as far as that goes, congratulations, Mafra, for having that kind of opportunity to play on one of the biggest rock festivals in such a short amount of time. And I think this should be encouraging to a lot of people, maybe some people in the comments who feel a little jaded that they've been performing for however long and they didn't get to make it to that point, that your life can look very different and that there's so much more of an even playing field than you realize when it comes to today's technology. Like, to give you an example, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've had the amount of followers that I've had for a while, and I had viral success when I first started my channel. And, you know, I've built up, only recently have I really built up Spotify numbers. Excuse me. Only recently have I really built them up because I started to put my cover songs on Spotify fairly frequently. And I got up to now like 240,000 monthly listeners, which is a pretty damn good. Okay. Actually, I think 3,000 monthly listeners is pretty damn good. So if that's what you have, then congratulations. But this time last year, I don't know. I didn't know who she was, who Mafra was, but I'd be willing to bet she didn't have 1.3 million monthly listeners. Now I know it's because of Doomed by Bring Me the Horizon, her cover, but that just goes to show that it takes one video, one song for you to leapfrog everybody, you know, and it's not about competition. Actually, that's one way of looking at it. More importantly, it takes one song, one video for you to be put on the map. You know what I mean? And she's been put on the map. And from what I understand, I saw on her Instagram, I'm not sure what this is, but I think Sonic Temple, it said Saturday, she'll, like, I guess, like, she's making another live appearance. I can't speak today. Anyway, as far as the comments on the internet go, I think the healthiest way to see it is that there are millions, better yet, millions of different versions of yourself that exist in the perception of the people who stumble upon your videos and music, your picture, whatever it is. There are millions of different versions of yourself that you don't know because they're projections and they're assumptions of someone that doesn't know you. So they're not you. You exist. You know who you are. And you can't control what people think about you or how they perceive you. And that's something that I've had to tell myself for years, because I've always wanted to control the perception of others. That's a problem that I've had, is that I want to appear a certain way. I want people to know who I am, but it's impossible. They don't have the context. They'll never have the full context of who you are. That's not your job, you know, and it's a waste of time to try to understand it. And if you're grappling with it, the best thing to do is to just leave it alone and remind yourself that it's none of your business what people think about you. Now, this is advice that I wish I could take myself because it would be very useful. Maybe it's my upbringing, where I come from. If somebody says something disrespectful to you and you feel disrespected, there are consequences. But this is not real life. Okay, this is not the streets of New York. Someone's not coming to your face and saying, hey, you suck. If they did, maybe things would go a little different. I don't know, but they're not going to, because it's the internet. The internet allows people to play to the darkest parts of themselves and put that on display. It's an exaggerated version of the worst character flaws of a person a lot of the time when you see negative comments. I remember seeing a lot of criticism when I first went viral on my channel. I hit 1 million subscribers in about 8 months' time from 0 subscribers. I was one of the trendsetters of that time for music on YouTube, which were impersonation videos, songs in the style of other artists. I was one of the first, if not the first, to do that exact kind of content. 1 song, 20 styles. And there were other impersonation videos at the time that were really popular. That became a trend that year in 2014, and I hit 1 million subscribers. And I remember people who were, anytime someone would share my video, at the time it was like a lot of internet publications, Smosh, Rolling Stone, Billboard. It was pretty crazy. And you would see in the comment sections all the time, stop sharing this guy. I don't get the hype. He sucks. Blah, blah. And of course, it made me feel like shit. It made me realize, like, it made me think that I was like a joke or something. And the one thought that kept going through my mind was, I didn't ask for this. I made videos not thinking it was going to go this viral. And I think that's what's going on with Mafra. I don't think she predicted any of this was going to happen. I don't think she's prepared for this, if I'm going to be honest. Some people, they when they see stuff like this happen, they automatically think she's a plant, or there's a plant, they're an industry plant. Maybe in some cases that happens. I tend to see that when there's for me, an industry plant looks like someone who doesn't have a lot of reach. Like, they're getting talked about by major labels, and they have all these press releases and stuff. Then you go to their page, and they've got 60,000 subscribers. They have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Not that that's not a lot, but it's just not a lot compared to organic. You're seeing Mafra's got 1.3 million monthly listeners off of a cover. Her socials have been growing like crazy. That's organic reach. And it happened because, it happened because of, my opinion, a couple of reasons. Number one, her presentation is so perfect for where we are right now in the state of metal and rock music in 2026. She looks the part. It's the same video, same kind of video. It's a live presentation. There's no cuts. Even if it's not a live vocal take, it's a live video. And she sounds the part. When I first heard her sing, the first thing that came to mind was, this is in line with Sleep Token. This is in line with Spirit Box. And the other thing is, because she blew up without having a chance to, some people, they need to work their audience to gradually build a following. You put out a video that does pretty well. You put out a video where you talk and, you get people to sign up for your Patreon. You do the content creator thing. I haven't heard her speak yet. That's a plus. I think that adds to the mystique. Mystique still has a real powerful effect on people. And the fact that people believed that she was AI before she made an appearance live tells you everything you need to know about that she had that kind of effect. She has that effect, the mystique. That's why there's hype. And the other reason is this. And this is the same effect that Ren has, by the way. The vocal analysis commentary videos, vocal coaches who react, who have made short videos of reactions to her, who have made long videos of reactions to her, myself included. And the reason I did was because I was told, check this girl out. This is a good one to react to, as part of what I do on here on YouTube. As someone who does commentary / vocal analysis type stuff every once in a while, or, more often than I ever used to, there was incentive there to react and to watch her cover. Otherwise, I would have never known who she was. But it's genius free marketing that you can't buy. Technically, you could buy it if she was like, trying to reach out to everyone and paying people. But it's never going to have the same effect as organic. This is organic. Something about that cover hit people the same way that something about I Prevail's version of Blank Space by Taylor Swift. Wow, I really can't speak today. Something about that cover, Blank Space by Taylor Swift, hit people back in 2015. I remember that thing went crazy. This happens every once in a while. It happened with me with Dark Horse when I did Dark Horse in 20 Styles. And that blew up. And some people, I remember seeing it. They're like, I don't get the hype. Well, neither do I. There's some things that you can't explain. But what I will say is that that's the power of the internet. And you need to understand that it comes with the territory. You shouldn't get down about people who criticize you because, well, first of all engagement is good engagement. It helps propel a person even more. I don't know if people realize this. I know maybe they do, but I'm going to just remind you that if you're putting comments, any kind of comments, and contributing to that, you're helping propel that person in the algorithm, like for them to be seen more. And there's probably going to be a lot of people who will follow them because they like them. See, what I've noticed is that the comments are overwhelmingly positive, and they should be, because it's, well, a couple of things. Number one, she's blowing up for a reason. Even if you don't get the hype, I get the hype. I understand it. And you should take note. Solid presentation. Her, having one type of video. It's very focused. It's very in line with what's popular right now. It belongs in 2026 in the music landscape of rock and metal. And that's it. She's got a good, like a consistent look in her videos. And it's less is more works for her in a time where everyone is doing more is more content, more feeding into the algorithm. Shit, I'd do it, but, and the other thing is you should see this as a positive thing because, someone's career is being launched right now. That's great. This could be you. This could be you, person in the comments that's upset. All you have to do is take that energy and find your thing and put it out there. And you could be leapfrogging everyone in monthly listeners on Spotify. And I don't see that as like, look, don't hate the player, hate the game. Fuck hating the game. Play the game. Why not? What do you got to lose? I don't know, man. I think that it was a normal first performance as far as her making an appearance at Welcome to Rockville. If it were me, I would have preferred something a little bit more like making a first appearance to be a little bit more prepared and like front and center. Bam! Real punch in the mouth. But I'm sure she'll get there, especially if she doesn't have a lot of live experience, which it doesn't seem like she does. It seems like she's being thrown into this. I think given that possibility, she performed well. From what I heard, except for that one little part where she was pitchy, she sounded pretty on point, pretty on pitch. No screaming, but I don't think that song called for it. And hey, she's on stage with Ice Nine Kills at one of the biggest rock festivals in America, and it looks like she's going to be making an appearance at Sonic Temple. I wish the best for her in her career. And I wish the best for all of you who are the next in line, for all of you who haven't quite figured it out yet, to put your shit out there and catch a wave like that. But it's not always important to catch a wave exactly like that. Sometimes, most of the time, it's smaller waves that you build off of, and eventually you get to a point where you can do this full time, like I have. So Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and that's it. Take care.